Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my match reaction from the Arsenal-Manchester United game. So Arsenal beat Manchester United 3-2 at the Emirates Stadium. Marcus Rashford gave Manchester United the lead on the 17th minute. Rashford fired home a right-footed strike from 25 yards out. What a goal it was, and he nutmegged one of the Arsenal players. It was Marcus Rashford's 9th goal in 9 games in all competitions since the World Cup, and Rashford has took his tally now to 17 for the season. Rashford, of course, scored the winner in the 2-1 win against Manchester City. Rashford had a good chance in the game against Arsenal, produced a good save from Aaron Ramsdale. As you all know, Man United are confident of a new Marcus Rashford contract. Rashford is set to receive an increase on his £200,000 a week salary. Man United are reluctant to go above £300,000. Towards the end of last year, Man United extended Rashford's contract by 1 year. Edward Nketiah, he got a brace for Arsenal. His first goal was a header, got in front of Wan-Bissaka. And Nketiah's second goal came in the 90th minute. Obviously, they are checked for a possible offside. And Bukayo Saka scored a fantastic goal for Arsenal. Saka and Rashford goals were the two best goals of the game. Lisandro Martinez scored his first goal for Manchester United. It came from a header. It was a mistake by Aaron Ramsdale. So there were the goals. Bruno Fernandes got the assist for Marcus Rashford's stunning goal. Don't forget, Bruno Fernandes scored in the 1-1 draw with Crystal Palace. He scored the equaliser in the 2-1 win against Manchester City. Bruno Fernandes, like I've said, looks a far superior player without Ronaldo in the team. Revert back to when Ronaldo was at United, we couldn't get the best out of Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes has been a United player for around 2.5 years. Man United got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Granit Xhaka, he got an assist for Arsenal, and Tomiyasu got the other assist. By the way, Leandro Trossard came on for Arsenal and made his debut. Arsenal got Trossard for around 27 million. Arsenal had 20-odd shots in the game. Nketiah, he could have had an hat-trick. He had a good chance, produced a good save from De Gea. Saka as well could have had another goal because he hit the post. Scott McTominay had a good chance for Manchester United in that first half, produced a good save from Aaron Ramsdale. But in that first half, I thought Manchester United played well. but I thought Arsenal were the better team in that second half, especially in the last 15 minutes. Arsenal were all over Manchester United. We couldn't really get out of his own half. Erik ten Hag has said quite a few things. Erik ten Hag did say that all 3 Gunners' goals were avoidable. And he also said, Ten Hag, that I'm annoyed. I told players I want to win trophies, and he was talking about changing their mentality. So there are a few of the things he mentioned. Arsenal are now 11 points in front of Manchester United. They are 5 points in front of Manchester City, and they do have a game in hand. Arsenal are looking to win their first Premier League since 2004. Arsenal have only lost 1 game in the league this season. That was to Manchester United at Old Trafford earlier on in the season, 3-1. Got to give, Mikel Arteta credit. He's done a really good job with Arsenal this season. Well, prior to the game, Erik ten Hag hailed Mikel Arteta as the best Premier League coach. So far, Mikel Arteta has won the FA Cup as the Arsenal manager. He's under contract with Arsenal until 2025. He's been the Arsenal manager for over 3 years. Arsenal appointed Mikel Arteta in back in December 2019. Before Arsenal, he was an assistant coach at Manchester City. And he obviously worked alongside Pep Guardiola. Obviously, before Arteta, Arsenal had Freddie Ljungberg as interim. Before then, had Unai Emery. They sacked him after 18 months in charge. And before then, Arsenal had Arsene Wenger. He was the Arsenal manager for 22 years, so he was a long-serving manager. Like I said prior to the game, Wenger had around 12 good years out of the 22 years he was there. Like I said, Man United and Arsenal was the most iconic fixture when we had Alex Ferguson and when they had Arsene Wenger. Arsenal, of course, were just missing one player yesterday, and that was Gabriel Jesus. He's out until mid-March. It said prior to the game, though, that Reece Nelson's had a knock. Mohamed El Neni's had a knock. So, yeah. Let me put into the equation that Arsenal have lost good players. They lost the likes of Aubameyang, they lost Lacazette, lost Nicolas Pepe. Nicolas Pepe was very poor for Arsenal anyway. They lost the likes of Lucas Torreira. They lost Pablo Mari, Nuno Tavares, lost Hector Bellerin, loaned Ainsley Maitland-Niles out, lost Leno, he was a goalkeeper. So they are quite a few of the players that Arsenal have lost in that in recent years. Let me put into the equation, Man United have done transfer business with Arsenal before. Revert back to, was it 2018, got Sanchez off them, but Arsenal got Mkhitaryan as part of the deal. Sanchez was very poor for Man United. We ended up letting him go to Inter Milan. Then revert back to 2012, Man United got Robin Van Persie from Arsenal. Van Persie was good for Man United. He won Man United the league back in 2013, reflecting on the goals he scored. And a long time ago, Arsenal got Danny Welbeck from Man United. But I've got to say, Man United were missing Casemiro yesterday. Of course, he played no part because he was suspended, received a yellow card in the 1-1 draw with Crystal Palace. Obviously, we've still got Dalot injured. That's obviously why Wan-Bissaka has been playing. We've got Tuanzebe injured. He's been out of injury for a while, but he doesn't get in the team anyway. Donny van der Beek, he's out for the rest of the season with a knee injury. Ten Hag confirmed that prior to the Manchester City game. And that's it. Jadon Sancho, as you all know, has returned. He was out for 2 months due to lack of fitness. But Manchester United's next game is Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Manchester United have got a very good chance of winning the Carabao Cup. And you know, Ten Hag has said, I want to win a trophy. Man United have not won a domestic trophy since 2017. But like I've said, Ten Hag's expectations this season is to get Man United a top 4 finish. And despite us losing to Arsenal yesterday, I still think Man United can definitely finish in the top 4 or the top 3. But no, I'd say we're not in the title race now. We are too far behind. If we'd have beaten Arsenal yesterday, I'd still said we'd have been in the title race. Erik Ten Hag, of course, he's made 2 signings so far for Man United in this January transfer window. Brought Wout Weghorst in on loan until the end of the season. Weghorst, of course, played up top against Arsenal, made his debut for the club against Crystal Palace. And Ten Hag, of course, brought Jack Butland in on loan until the end of the season. We brought Jack Butland in because Dubravka got his loan terminated. Jack Butland is number 2 to De Gea. Jack Butland has not yet made an appearance for United. I thought he'd have played against Charlton in the last round of the Carabao Cup, but we decided to go with Tom Eaton instead. Revert back to last summer, you know, Ten Hag brought the likes of Terrell Malacia in, Christian Eriksen, Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Ante and Dubravka. Erik Ten Hag has spent over 200 million as Manchester United manager. And, you know, he's let a lot of players go as well. You know, look at the players that left Man United, you know, last year. You know, last year, Dean Henderson went out on loan to Forest. Lee Grant left the club. Tellez went out on loan to Sevilla. Eric Bailly went out on loan to Marseille. Pogba and Matic left on free transfers. Pogba went back to Juventus and Matic went to Roma. So he's been reuniting with Mourinho. We'll let Lingard go on a free to Forest. We'll let Cavani and Mata leave on free transfers. We loaned Hannibal Mejbri out. We loaned Amad Diallo Traore out. We loaned Ethan Laird out. Ronaldo got sacked by the club as well last year. He's obviously now in Saudi Arabia playing for Al Nassr. So there you go. And obviously, not so long ago, Sholo Shortire went out on loan to Bolton. And you know, this year, Ten Hag is certainly going to get rid of more players. You know the news on Anthony Elanga. Man United have blocked Anthony Elanga from joining Everton on loan due to a climate at Goodison Park. And it says Borussia Dortmund are unlikely to sign Anthony Elanga, but Man United are open to loan offers for Elanga and for Kundu Palistri. Elanga lost his place in the team because obviously Garnacho came up the ranks. Elanga played quite a few games last season. Elanga has been at United since 2014, risen up our academy. He broke into our senior squad back in 2021. He made his senior debut against Leicester. Elanga is under contract with Man United till 2026. This year as well, Ten Hag will obviously get rid of Tellez permanently. He'll get rid of Bailly permanently. He'll get rid of Tom Eaton. You know, Tom Eaton's Man United's third choice keeper, with obviously Man United getting Jack Butland in on loan until the end of the season. I think Bissaka will leave this year. He's only playing games because obviously Delors unavailable. Bissaka could even go back to Crystal Palace. Fred could even leave the club this year, but Fred is still one of Man United's first choice centre midfielders, despite the arrivals of Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. You know, I think Man United could even get rid of Anthony Martial this year as well. You know, we're looking to get a striker in the summer. You know, there's been a lot of rumours coming out about Harry Kane, but obviously we've got Wout Weghorst on loan until the end of the season. I don't think Martial's good enough anyway. I actually thought Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay were going to be leaving the club. Now I'm hearing they're going to be staying at Man United in this January transfer window. Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay are not first choice. So there you go. But Erik Ten Hag, you know, I think he's doing a good job as Manchester United manager. You know, this is his first full season. He does need time. You know, last year Ten Hag got named Premier League Manager of the Month. He replaced Rangnick, didn't he? And he's Man United's 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. You know, revert back to when Ten Hag was at Ajax, he did very well because he won Eredivisie titles, he won Dutch Cups. Back in 2019, guided Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. So there you go. He is our best manager since Ferguson. Don't forget, Ten Hag was the one that recommended Mitchell van der Gaag and Steve McLaren to the club. Also at Man United, you know, we've got Benny McCarthy, Richard Arnold, John Murtough. Last year, Sir Alex Ferguson came back to Man United in an advisory role. The Glazers still at Man United. The club should be sold though by the end of the season, but towards the end of last year it said the club was aimed to be sold by March. The Glazers are looking for around $5 billion to sell the club. Revert back to the 30th of December last year, Avram Glazer was spotted in Doha, which is Qatar, trying to sell Man United. But there's been a massive issue with the club for a long time. That explains why, for such a long time, United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. The Glazers have owned the club for around 17 years. They purchased the club for around $790 million back in 2005. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, of course, has been interested in buying the club for quite some time. The other week it said Sir Jim Ratcliffe confirmed that he was in the running to buy Man United. Billionaire company Ineos is in the process, a spokesman said. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is a billionaire. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.